Today we're covering Review 20, Adding Integers. So go back to that page for rules for integers, and we've already filled in multiplying and dividing integers. Now we're going to put in the rules for adding integers. So just like before, there is a rule for same signs. And if the integers have the same signs, like they're both positive or they're both negative, you're going to add and keep the sign. So if they're both positive, the answer's positive. If they're both negative, the answer's negative. Negative 2 plus negative 4, you just add 2 plus 4 and you get 6. And since they're both negative, it's negative. Kind of like if you had 2 negatives and you added 4 more, all together you have 6. Okay. Now there's another rule for different signs. If you have different signs, then you subtract and take the sign of the greater. And it's really not the greater, it's the one that is farthest from 0. For example, if we had negative 2 plus positive 4. So I've got 4 positives and I've got 2 negatives. Well, these cancel each other out. I subtracted 2, and so I had more positives. My answer is positive. So you take the one that you had the more of. And we had more positives than we had negatives, so the answer is positive. And I have a little song that helps us remember the rules for adding integers.
Same signs add and keep, different signs subtract. Keep the sign of the higher number, then it'll be exact. Same signs add and keep, different signs subtract. Keep the sign of the higher number, then it'll be exact. Same signs add and keep, different signs subtract. Keep the sign of the higher number, then it'll be exact.
Let's turn to your Review 20 guided practice. Number 1 and number 2, we're just finding the sums. So if they have the same sign, we're just adding. And we're going to keep this sign. And the first one, they're both negative, so the answer is going to be negative. 3 plus 7 makes 10. The next one underneath it is they're both negative, so the answer will be negative. So 5 plus 11 makes 16. The next one, they're both positive. So the answer is going to be positive, and we don't have to write the positive sign. We just write the number. 4 plus 12 makes 16. Next column. Now they're different signs. Since they're different, we're going to subtract. So 4 minus 2 makes 2. And the higher number is 4, and it's negative, so my answer is negative. The next one is negative 8 and positive 8. Since they're different, we subtract. 8 minus 8 makes 0. And remember, 0 is not positive or negative, so we don't have to worry about that. It's just 0. 4 plus negative 5. Different signs, so we're subtracting. 5 minus 4 makes 1. And the higher number is negative, so we take negative sign. Next column. 5 plus negative 6. They're different signs, So we subtract. 6 minus 5 makes 1. And the higher number is 6, and it's negative, so my answer is negative. Next one is negative 2 plus positive 11. They have different signs, so we're going to subtract. 11 minus 2 makes 9. And the higher one is positive, so my answer is positive. Negative 7 plus 10. Different signs, so we're going to subtract. 10 minus 7 makes 3, and we take the sign of the higher number, which is 10. 10's positive, my answer's positive. Okay, take just a moment and see if you can do that last column by yourself real quick. And then I'm going to put the answers up, and you can see if you got the correct answer. Hope you were able to get those correct. Number 3. Now we have several digits. We're just going to take them 2 at a time. So cover up that last part if you need to. I don't recommend scratching it out, but just cover it up with your hand. Negative 24 and a positive 18. So they're different signs. We're going to subtract. 24 minus 18 makes 6, and the higher number was negative, so my answer is negative. Then we're going to do plus negative 5. So I have negative 6 plus negative 5. They both have the same sign, so we add. Negative 6 plus negative 5 makes 11, and since they're both negative, the answer is negative. Number 4. Another way to do these, besides taking them 2 at a time, is we could take all the positives and put them together. So 32 plus 6 would make 38. So we're taking all the same signs and doing the addition. And then negative 7 and negative 25 would make 32. And since they're both negative, the answer is negative. Now we have 38 plus negative 32. They have different signs, so we subtract. 38 minus 32 makes 6. And the greater number was positive, so my answer is positive. Positive 6. But we don't usually put the positive sign. Number 5 is similar to what's going to be on your test. Write an expression using addition for each situation. So we don't have to solve it. That's an expression, does not have an equal sign. We're just going to basically set up the problem. So the first one says the elevator went down 7 floors. If it goes down, that's negative. Before going up 5 floors. Up is positive, so negative 7 plus positive 5. Next one, you had $8. Well, if you had it, that's positive. Then you spent 6. Remember, we're making addition problems, so plus negative 6. If you spend, that's negative. The next one is Lydia scored 15 points. She scored the points. That's positive. In her video game, then lost 6. So if you lose, that's negative. 15 plus negative 6. Number 6. The divers descended 12 meters. Then he ascended 7 meters. Write and solve an equation to represent the situation. So it says equation this time. We're going to have an equal sign. Descended means they went down. Down would be negative. Then he ascended 7 meters. That's up, so that's a positive. They don't have the same signs, so we're going to subtract. 12 minus 7 makes 5. The higher number is negative, so the answer is negative. Number 7. The football game Friday was so exciting. On the first play, the team lost 5 yards. On the second play, the team lost another 8 yards. On the third play, they gained 10 yards. Then on the next play, they gained 5 more yards. Write and solve an equation to represent the situation. So if they lost 5, that's negative 5. Then they lost another 8, so that's another negative 8. Then they gained 10, so that's positive 10. Gained another 5, that's a positive 5. Then it says to solve it. So negative 5 and negative 8 make 5 plus 8 is 13. They're both negative. And let's go add the positive numbers. 10 plus 5 makes 15. So I put all the ones that were positive together, and I put all the ones that are negative together. Now I need to combine that. So negative 13 plus positive 15. You need to subtract because they have different signs. And you get 2. The higher number was positive, so my answer is positive. It's just positive 2. Number 8, Mom parked in a garage 3 floors below ground level at the hospital. Then she took the elevator up 17 floors. What floor of the hospital did she go to? So she parked in a garage 3 floors below ground level. That would be a negative 3. Then she took the elevator up 17, so that's positive. Different signs, so we subtract. 17 minus 3 makes, and the higher one is positive, so my answer is positive. Let's look at the back of your worksheet, Review 20, Independent Practice. So number 1 and number 2, you're just finding the sum. So if they have the same signs, you just add and keep the sign. If they have different signs, like that, you take and subtract. 10 minus 10 makes 0. If they have different signs, you subtract. And take the sign of the one that's higher. If they have the same signs, you add. On number 3, you probably want to take it just 2 numbers at a time. Whatever you get for that, plus negative 5. On number 4, probably want to put all these negative numbers together. Negative 1 plus negative 10 would make negative 11. And negative 11 plus negative 4 would make negative 15 plus positive 8. So those have different signs. Different signs we subtract and get. And then we take the sign of the higher. So this is negative 7. Number 5, the temperature at 6 a.m. was 5 degrees Celsius. By 9 a.m., the temperature had risen 8 degrees. What was the temperature at 9 a.m.? So it started out as -5, and then it went up 8 degrees. Number 6, a group of archaeologists leave a site in Jordan and descend 647 meters to the shore of the Dead Sea. Their initial elevation was 251 meters above sea level. What is the elevation of the Dead Sea? So descend means negative, and then this was above sea level. That's positive. To figure out what that equals. Number 7, the table shows the points won or lost during the 2 rounds of games. If only 2 rounds were played, who won the game? Whoever has the biggest score won. So you need to find the totals. Total for Tracy, total for George, and tell me who won. Number 8, Daniel had $55 in his bank account. He purchased $225 worth of games. What integer represents his bank account? Daniel's not making very good decisions. He only had $55. That's positive. Plus, he purchased $225. If you purchase something, that's negative. So what's the balance in Daniel's bank account?
Same signs add and keep, different signs subtract. Keep the sign of the higher number, then it'll be exact. Same signs add and keep, different signs subtract. Keep the sign of the higher number, then it'll be exact. Same signs add and keep, different signs subtract. Keep the sign of the higher number, then it'll be exact.